Hello everyone and welcome back to My Crafty Stash. I'm going to show you how to look at a project, and also we're going to show you how to enter a project using the custom card builder. So first of all, these are a couple of projects that I have built. We can see here we have a birthday card that was made for me by my wonderful wife. And in it she used TE dried fig, black licorice cardstock, the Hooray hat die set, sugar cube, black glossy cardstock. She used cotton candy, lemon meringue, guava, shimmer, watercolor or liquid watercolor, the shout out birthday, embossing folder, sugar cube, and sugar cube. Now you say, why is sugar cube on there a couple of times? Well, this is showing the order of the items as it's used. So here you have the card base, you have the first card mat, then you have what was used. So we used that on there. Then we used the shimmer on it. Then the ink was used on it. And then we have black licorice cardstock was used with the Hooray hat set. Sugar cube cardstock was then used with the inks again. And then the black glossy foil cardstock was used to cut out the top of that. That is how this was made. Down here, you can see how it was made. This gives you the step-by-step instructions on how this is actually made, and it shows you each piece and what was used. And then we have notes if you want to add any notes to say, what you want to add, if there's anything extra that isn't covered by the card builder. And then if you make it again, you can click I made one, add notes to it, click Save Creation, and then it'll say, oh, I made this on this date, and it'll be perfect for you. So we'll go back, and I will show you how to make one. So to make one, you click to the right of projects, and you click Add Project. Now we're gonna add a card that I made here not too long ago. I'm just gonna put this in, and I'm just gonna call it birthday. Create in quads, because I don't remember who I made this for. It's been too long. Oops. Now I can click and drag and add the picture here if I want, or I can go into the card builder. Let me get this up. Let me resize this real quick so that way you guys can see all of it. There we go. Or I can add this on the left hand side here. I can click and drag. I can upload the image here. And now, as you see on the left hand side, it is much bigger. No matter which spot you enter the picture in, it will show here, and it will show in the other spot. It will show larger here. That way you can always be looking at your image and you can see what's going on. So we'll step through this. I know with this card that first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work with a card base. My card base was a sugar cube card base. Now, first thing you're going to do is you're going to click card fold, because that's how your card is folding, right? So card fold, you have options. You have A2, A7, mini slim, and fun fold. I haven't figured out how to do all of the kind of fun folds, because fun folds are very unique. If you click fun fold, you'll probably want to put in notes how you made your fun fold. For this was a A2 side fold. So you click that, it goes red. You click Save Card Fold. Now you see up here on the right hand side, it says card base is A2 side fold in sugar cube. It defaults to sugar cube if you haven't selected anything else. If you used a different kind, it's always good to come in here, go to cardstock. This will pull from all of the cardstock that you have in your inventory. I do have it set for me to go look at sugar cube, black licorice, buttercream frosting, and toffee first, because that's what a lot of us use for our card bases, are the whites, the blacks, the creams, the craft colors. So, but like you can select black licorice. I didn't use black licorice. You can do confirm cardstock. Now it says in TE premium cardstock black licorice. This will actually pull the TE cardstock, but I didn't use black licorice. I used sugar cube. So we'll do that. Self-blended. If you may notice here, self-blended means if, like, similar to that birthday card, if instead of putting a mat on top of the card, I instead blended on the card base itself, you would click this. This will come up, and you can click what inks you used to blend on top of your card base. So that is an option here. You can also add a description to describe how you blended it. One thing that will happen is when you select your inks, it will put them here, and it will put them in the order that you blended. So if you want it to be top down, select your inks from top down. That is one of the ways you can do that. I will just deselect this here because I did not do that. So I will confirm my cardstock. I did not add any details or adhesives to my card base, so I will save my card base. Next is my background mat. My background mat on this was the chunky glitter, I believe. Yeah, I know it was glitter. Yeah. Chunky silver holographic glitter cardstock. That is what I used. Now, for this, you click your cardstock. So we're adding our background mat. I apologize. I should have said that first. We're adding our background mat. So you can do pretty much anything with these mats. You can add multiple mats. Up to 5 of each is what I've put in kind of as a base for everybody. And you can customize them however you want. And you can add multiple pieces to each mat. So we have cardstock. I chose my chunky glitter. Now, how was it cut? I'm going to click this because I did cut it using the A2 frames or the A2 stacklets. But we have some things here that you can do. So if none would be as if you just cut it with your trimmer and you cut it to a certain size, or you didn't even cut it. Like you're just using the base stock A2 size, didn't trim it or anything like that. Custom size would be like as if you cut it down with a trimmer to a very specific custom size. Foil it would be as if you just took a foilet and foiled it, and then decided to take that foilet and use it for something else. Frames will go from like any kind of frame, anything you have labeled as a frame, as in like the A2 frame cutting plate, the frame and frame, stuff like that. All planned out. We have insiders. So, but I use stacklets. I use the A2 stacklets. Now, as you see here, when you click here, you can actually sort all of these. So if I'm looking for A2, I'm going to click A2, and this will now only show me stuff that is tagged in my inventory as A2, which is extremely helpful. So I know that I need my A2 layer stacklets. So there's my A2 layer stacklets. When I select that, it's going to say cut details, stacklets A2, which die in the set? 1 equals the largest. So you think of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think there's 10 in this set. So I used the second largest because, no, yeah, I used the second largest for this one. How many layers were cut? Sometimes you want to make something a little thicker, right? So if you want to make something a little thicker, you'd put 2 or 3 layers there. I only used the 1 for this, so I'll select 1. Did I add any details? I did not. I did use an adhesive. What kind of adhesive did I use to attach this? I used my glue, which was the Nouveau Deluxe adhesive, and I will save that. Now, if I had more pieces to this mat, like if it was like, let's say I made something fancy where I had something on top, I sliced it diagonally, and I had another different piece on the bottom, I would click add one piece of the mat, and then I would do my second piece, and then click add the mat. So it would have two pieces to the one mat. That's how you would do the two pieces. But I only did the one. Now my additional mat, that is what I'm considering the kind of the background with the create and quad part. So I'm going to do additional mat. The cardstock I'm going to pick was Sugar Cube. It was blended, but it was not self-blended. How was it cut? Again, I used the A2 layer stacklets. Now I will show you here. So let's say you don't want the A2 stacklets. I want mini slim. So if I click mini slim, see how that pops up? Or if I want stuff that's just scallop, only scallop stuff comes up. So it's really easy to kind of search and find what you've got in your stash to be able to really easily locate what you're looking for quickly. So for this, I went with the second one here, and I will confirm my cut. Now details. This is where it can get kind of complicated, and if you run into problems, send me an email. I will be happy to add something, be able to update this so that way you can get your projects entered and be able to save your crafty memories and be able to share them with each other. I would be more than happy to be able to update stuff for everybody. So this is where it gets tough, for me at least, because you guys come up with all those wonderful ideas that I have never even thought of, and I have to think of ways to be able to let you add them. So what happens here is this is your details. So this is the little details that you add to the mats. How did you make this mat look special? Did you stamp it, emboss it, use a die, add embellishments, use a stacklet, foil it, stencil it, use olos, just use ink? How did you do it? Well, for me, it was a stencil. Now, again, we have the sorting on top, and these right here come from your types, or subtypes, I'm sorry. These come from your subtypes. So these are all going to come from your subtypes under stencils. So I'll show you in settings how to, if you need to change what these pull from, I will show you that later. But for right now, these are the basic settings. So we have a create and quad, and this was the create. By the way, I do like that I have the pictures on the left. That I think that kind of helps you guys. I know it helps me. So this is the Create and Quad's birthday layering stencil. So I'm going to click that. Now, this is going to ask me, what color did I use for each layer? And I can click here. Did I use glitter on this layer? Did I use Happy Medium? Did I use Astro Paste? If I did, which Astro Paste? Or which Happy Medium? Which glitter? And you can use all of them. So maybe you used a Happy Medium and a glitter on that, and you did half, or a quarter of each, or you did one panel in Astro Paste, one panel in Happy Medium, one panel in glitter. It's all up to you, and you can make this your own. So I just used plain inks. So thankfully I had my inks in my picture because I would not have remembered which ones I had. It looks like I have macaron for my layer 1, so pick inks. And up here you can actually type MAC macaron, confirm. Now you'll see it says macaron here. I will click next. Layer 2 is dried fig. I will confirm. Layer 4 is tiki mule. Tiki mule, confirm. And layer 4 is that royal icing? Yes, my eyes are not what they used to be, folks. I am sorry. Royal icing. All right. So once we have that, we have all 4. You'll see here it says what was used on each layer. Now that's just for the stencil. If you had other stuff added to this, you will still want to go up here and add it. So if you added embellishments, which I did add drip drops, which were just drip drops. So I want to go up here and go to bits and pieces, and I want to find my drip drops, which sadly I don't have a picture of, but I do want to make sure I have drip drops on there. So now you see here I have current selection down here, drip drops, and create in quads layering stencil. My stencil details has all of my colors for each layer. And now you can either save and add another, which I'm not because I have to go to my details next, or save and return to additional mat. So I want to do save and return to additional mat because this is just for the detail of this mat. Adhesives, I used glue and I used my Nuvo adhesive and I save. Now this is just the one piece. Like I said, this is where it gets complicated. So I'm done with this mat. Now, as you see on the right here, we're starting to get pretty detailed, but it's good because now you know what's going on. Because if you see here, piece 1, detail, embellishment, drip drops, stencil, creating quads, birthday layering stencil, layer 1, macaron, layer 2, dried fig, layer 3, tiki mill, layer 4, royal icing. I can go back and I can recreate this card to the letter and make it perfect. Okay, next, focal mat. Well, what did I do for the focal mat? Well, that is the create in quad, isn't it? So I'm just going to go do the same thing. Cardstock, sugar cube. How was it cut? Well, this is where it gets a little tricky. It wasn't really cut out of anything. So I'm just going to go back to focal mat and I'm going to go to details. I'm going to add dies because technically it wasn't cut with that, so I have to add it through here. It was added through dies, and it's going to be, what's it, the birthday, right? Create in quads birthday party hat die. So I'm going to click that. I did cut multiple layers, and I cut 2. Now you see here, this saved the previous stencil because it shouldn't have saved the previous stencil. I will have to fix that. I apologize. That will be fixed as of at the release. But it is actually kind of handy that I don't have to go through that whole thing again because you've already seen it once. And there were drip drops added to this because there's a drip drop here, and I believe there's a drip drop on one of the, oh yes, by the way, if you double click on here, you can zoom and you can click and hold and you can drag. You can also hold the control button and use your mouse wheel to zoom in and out of the picture if you need to get more detail. I almost forgot that, so I'm glad I hovered over this and saw that. Okay, so we got that added. We're going to save and return to focal mat. Now I need to get my adhesive added, which was Nuvo Deluxe Glue. All right, so I have my card base, my background mat, my additional mat, my focal mat. I need to get my sentiment done. And what was my sentiment? It is happy birthday. Now this goes to the sentiment search as I did earlier. This pulls off the same kind of thing, but we have die only, stamp only, full sets, and theme search. So it's a little bit more detailed just because I wanted to make it a little easier here for people to find stuff. So I'm going to look up birthday, and I believe this is the Oh My Word birthday, if I remember correctly. Let's find this one. The nice thing is you can have the picture here and you can be scrolling through here and try to find the exact one. No, that's not Oh My Word Happy Birthday. Which one is that? That's not together in type, is it? No. Wait. That is Sundry Sentiments. Yeah, that is Sundry Sentiments Happy Birthday. Okay. So adding a sentiment can also be a little daunting because there is a lot to go through here on, because you can add a lot to a sentiment. Now, I embossed this, and it has a nice backer to it. So what we do here is, I've picked my sentiment. I'm going to pick my cardstock, which was dried fig. So I'm going to pick dried fig. Details. Details is going to bring you back to here. I need to clear this out because I did not use a stencil. Huh. Like I said, that will be fixed in the final version. But what you would do is you would click stamp, and you would find the Sundry Sentiment stamp set. Pick the inks, which this was done with, not wow, it's, okay, I know where it's at. It's at the bottom. Yeah, Versamark Water, Versamark Claire. Oops. Oh, Versamark Claire. There we go. And we save and return. Then we add this piece to the sentiment. It's going to look a little weird for the sentiment. I do apologize. Okay, now embellishments. This brings you to embellishments. Currently, it's going to pull from any embellishments that you've added on mats. You can also click and add more if you would like. Inside of card takes you through all of this stuff again. If you've done anything to the inside of card. Envelopes, I did put this in an envelope. Again, up here you can sort through them. So this went in a sugar cube envelope. Any notes that I have, I would add here before creating this, and then I would click Create Card. Now, notes will be transferred over here. You see the picture did get transferred here, and through here we have this very, very large card build, but this will take me through step by step on how to make this card. You click Save Project, and now you can see exactly how this project got built. And it will save all of the items on the right-hand side in the order that they got used. Saves your creation date. It takes the day that you added in as the creation date. But yes, that is how to add a project and how to view projects. Editing a project, by the way, is very similar. Project name, you can just edit here. You can edit the notes, or you can go back into the card builder. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys aren't seeing anything. Here we go. You can go into the card builder. So this is the edit screen. You have all the stuff on the right hand side, or you go back into the card builder itself. And once you have the card builder, then you can go back and change what you need to. The editing a project is a little finicky. I'm still working on that, so give me time and let me know what you guys think. Also, one real quick thing. There is a really nice little feature here. If you guys notice, there's this little share button. So if I like this project and I want to show somebody what I made and how I made it so they can create it, I click share. This can pull from my address book if I have somebody's email address in there. It will pull the file from the file location in Explorer. It'll open up in your it'll open it up on your computer. Since I don't have, let me go add somebody real quick. I'll just add this person. I will just okay. So I now have my email in here, so I can send this to myself. So what will happen, I will try to do this and show you guys here. So let's do share. So this will say save an email. I will select that. You'll see it goes blue. Save an email. It's going to show you where it saves to. And it says attach this file to email. Yep. Hello. I apologize. I'm trying to get this up. Okay, so it will pull up like this. It'll pop this up. So this is a My Crafty Stash project file. Oh, I'm sorry, Miko. I didn't mean to run over your tail. And what will happen is, what you'll do is you'll take this project file and you can email that to your friend. And then what they'll do is they'll take and they will import it. So how you import this, you do import shared, and it's going to ask you, well, where did you save this at? So let me throw this one in here because this is just a test project. So I will put this one in here, click open. It'll say it's imported. And then you just have this. It does note that it was shared, so that way any items that were used in it any items that were used aren't going to be added to your inventory, but it will still show you what items were used. And it will show you the images of the items and everything. It's just not going to add them to your own stock. That way you won't be looking at items that you don't have. If you do have the items, great, but that way it's not going to mess up your own inventory. All right. Well, I thank you guys. I know this is a little bit longer one, but I do thank you for that. Next, we're going to be going into the settings, which will again be a little bit longer one, and I will see you there. Thank you.